You know, we are so stinking fickle, have been for centuries. Go back to the book of Genesis chapter 15, and you'll see there where God is talking to Abram, gives him these promises and all this wonderful stuff, and Abram's like, but God, I don't have a son, and my servant's gonna inherit everything. And God says, look up at the stars. You can't count the stars. That's how many descendants you're gonna have. And verse 6 says, and Abram believed the Lord, and the Lord counted him as righteous because of his faith. Isn't that great? Abraham is one of the fathers of faith listed in Hebrews. But what happens a couple of verses later? Seriously. Verse 7 says that God is going to give Abram the land to possess it. And what does Abraham say in verse 8? Now remember, in verse 6, he believed the Lord, and it was counted to him for righteousness. But Abram replied, O sovereign Lord, how can I be sure that I will actually possess it? He goes from, woohoo, I'm gonna have kids, to, wait, how can I know? At reading the next verses, I can just see God I'm sure that God wasn't like this, but as a human, I would be, okay, fine. You go bring me 3-year-old goat, a 3-year-old this and a 3-year-old that, and some birds, and slaughter them here, and we'll make a covenant. I mean, seriously, Abram, you just believe that you're going to have all these descendants, but you can't believe I'm going to give you the land? Where are all these descendants going to go if I don't give you some land to put them on? Now another example. Let's go to chapter 16. Now, of course, Abram had told Sarai, his wife, that he's going to have kids. And Sarai's like, well, I'm barren. I'm too old to have kids. I'll tell you what. Sarai says to Abram, the Lord, let's blame it on God. The Lord has prevented me from having kids. I'll tell you what, I have this Egyptian servant. Her name is Hagar. She's young. She's pretty. Pretty sure she could have kids for me. So I tell you what, Abram, why don't you go ahead and take Hagar, my servant, and have a baby with her? And Abram's like, oh, sure, okay. So Abram takes, now remember, Hagar didn't have any choice in this matter. She's a servant. So Abram goes and sleeps with Hagar, and Hagar gets pregnant, and she starts mistreating Sarai because she's like, oh, I can have babies and you can't. So what does Sarah do? Sarai. She goes to Abram. Here's your fickleness. Remember, Sarai gave Hagar to Abram and said, have a baby with her. And Sarai goes to Abram and she says, this is all your fault. I put my servant in your arms, but now she's pregnant. She treats me with contempt. The Lord will show who's wrong, you or me. Face it, Sarai, you were the one that was in the wrong. It was your idea. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Okay, we're gonna put the kitty down. So, Sarai is mistreating Hagar. What would you do if you were Hagar? You gonna stay there and take it? I guess she took as much as she could and she runs away. So she's out in the desert. Out in the desert, running away. And an angel comes to her and he says, what you doing out here? And she tells him. And the angel tells her what's going to happen with Ishmael, her son. And then apparently, the Bible doesn't say what they were, well, at least in these passages, doesn't say what they were calling God up to this point. But Hagar uses another name to refer to the Lord. She said, you are the God who sees me. Sees me. In Hebrew, it's El Roi, R-O-I. You are the God who sees me. So we've gone from fickle to, I know this is kind of a different subject, but it all goes together in the story. God sees you, even in the tough times, even in the times where things are happening in your life that you might not have had any say-so in the matter. Hagar didn't have any say-so in getting pregnant and being a wife or a concubine to Abram. She was a servant. She was given to Abram. And now she's pregnant. She's going to have a son. Yay, going to have a son. But God saw her, even in her desperation, in her time of not knowing what to do. She's run away from her master and her mistress, and she's out in the desert. She's got no way to get money or to eat or drink or to provide for herself. And the angel tells her to go back. And so she does. She goes back and she has her child. And Abram named him Ishmael, which is what God told Hagar to name the boy. God didn't come and tell Abram to name the boy Ishmael. God told Hagar to name him Ishmael. But of course, the fathers had the right of naming the children, and he named the child Ishmael, just as God told Hagar. I love the stories in the Old Testament, the things we can learn from them. Number one, don't be fickle. If God speaks to you, one day you're saying, "Oh, yes, I believe you, God." And the next day you're going, are you sure about that, God? If God tells you something, take him at his word. Don't argue. Seriously, you think you can win an argument with God? You can't. Anyway, I appreciate you watching and listening to me mumble on again today. Speak to you. Pray that you receive something from this. I would appreciate it if you would like, share, follow, subscribe, leave a comment. That'd be great. And if not, anyway, I do appreciate you watching. We'll talk to you soon.